Okay. They would like to know, is there enough information to prove the two triangles congruent through angle, side? If yes, write the congruent statement and explain. If no, write not possible and tell what other information you would need. So we are given that angle B here is congruent to angle D there. We see that, we know that. And we also see and we know that this side, AC, is reflexively congruent to itself. So neat. So we've got angle and side. Do we have any other angle information? No, it doesn't appear that we do. So not feeling too good about this. Now, by the way, if you were wondering, well, how could they have that same angle inside? You might just as easily say, let's just draw it. You might have this angle, this line, kind of turn out like this, and then go to there, still maintaining the angle, but kind of lengthening the one side and shortening the other side. And it could still have that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just not enough information. So what are we going to do about this? Well, we would need to find, if we're using angle, side, then neither one of those angles, if we found this angle and this angle, we would just have angle, side, okay? If we found this angle and this angle, we would still just have angle, side. There's no way that we could get angle, side, angle, because well, unless we had to find out all of this, right? So it's either pair of those angles that we get is going to give us angle, side. So we don't necessarily have to say this has to be congruent to that, although visually it seems like that's the pair, and this pair would go here with this pair. But we don't actually need to know that. All we need to say is, what else do we need to know? Well, first let's write it out, and we would say, not possible. We would need to know that one other pair of angles are congruent. Doesn't matter which other pair we find congruent. As long as there's another pair congruent, we will have angle, side congruence, and we'd be good. Yeah. Now in the answer key, it says that we would need to know either that BCA, let me write it here, BCA is congruent to CAD, or, what does it say, that BAC is congruent to DCA. But if we're not going with that the drawings are accurate, then I'm going to say that if you can just imagine, go with it here for a second. If we found that that angle was congruent to that angle, then essentially, excuse me, that would place them as symmetrical right across this line, and this angle would land perfectly on that one, right? I mean, the angles would have to change based on what is drawn, like if you measured the drawing. But it's possible that these two angles, here and here, are congruent, this side is congruent, and then this angle and this angle are congruent. And it doesn't have to be these opposite ones there and there, because the whole thing doesn't have to rotate to land on top. It could also just flip over this blue line that I drew across. That could be the line of symmetry, and that could match that could match that, and that matches that. So we really don't need to know specific angles are congruent. We just need to know that there's some other pair, and that'll be good enough. And it doesn't have to be that pair either. It could be this pair as well, and for the same reason. So yeah, we just need to know that one other pair of angles are congruent, and that's it.